MITSOTAKIS celebrates after election win and plus all praise for Tun Times' contribution to Sarawak. These are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, and you're watching TVS Nightline. Greece's ruling New Democratic Party stormed to a crushing victory in a parliamentary election on Sunday, May 21st, but fell just short of the threshold needed to form a government on its own. With most votes counted, Conservative New Democracy took a commanding lead of 40.8%, trouncing the radical leftist Syriza, which governed from 2015 to 2019, which polled 20.1%. Thousands gathered outside the headquarters of the New Democracy Party in Athens, cheering as party leader Kyriakos Mitsotakis came out to greet the crowds.
We have a modest obligation to rise to the occasion. Together we will give the next battle, which begins tomorrow, so that in the next elections, as the citizens have already decided, an autonomous New Democracy Party will be confirmed mathematically as well.
Greece's Interior Ministry projected that New Democracy could win 145 seats in parliament, 6 short of an absolute majority. On Monday, May 22nd, Greek President Katerina Sakellaropoulou will give the top 3 parties, New Democracy, Syriza, and the Socialist PASOK, 3 days each in turn to form a coalition government. If they all fail, Sakellaropoulou will appoint a caretaker government to prepare new elections about a month later. 2 former Deputy Chief Minister of Sarawak expressed their heartfelt appreciation for the Governor of Sarawak, Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud, on the occasion of his 87th birthday. These notable figures include Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. George Chan Hong Nam and Dato' Patinggi Dr. Alfred Jabu Numpang.
In his tribute, George Chan described Tun Taib as the architect of Sarawak, who successfully brought about transformation to this region. He stated that Tun Taib's initiatives have revolutionized the development landscape of Sarawak, transforming it from a low-income state to a high-income one.
Soon your achievements are also too many to count, but among them are: 1. No other leader has ever served the country and any stand longer than 60 years of dedication and determination with such great success. 2. As Chief Minister of Sarawak, you spent 33 years developing Sarawak from a poor backward state into a rich and vibrant one. 3. In the field of education, you not only encouraged and promoted education, but has also set up 2 foreign universities, namely Curtin and Swinburne, to provide affordable and quality tertiary education to young Sarawakians.
Furthermore, George Chan commended Tun Taib's leadership for successfully uniting the diverse Sarawakian population composed of various ethnicities, cultures, and religions.
4th, your most important and almost impossible task, you united the diverse and multi-ethnic people of Sarawak into one big family, irrespective of race and religion. If I were to put all your accomplishments in one sentence, I would say you have developed Sarawak into a united and independent modern nation.
Meanwhile, Alfred Jabu expressed that Tun TAIB'S leadership in Parti Pesaka Bumiputera Bersatu, PBB, has nurtured a generation of wise and knowledgeable leaders.
One of those among the many PBB leaders whom tonight we present, we owe to you, Tun, for mentoring us and for leading us through PBB culture. We promise, as we have always done, throughout our life, we will work berkorban bersatu untuk menjamin kestabilan, keharmonian, dan juga ketentraman, dan untuk negeri Sarawak, bumi Tinalam tercinta ini.
George Chan and Alfred Jabu previously served as Deputy Chief Ministers during Tun TAIB'S administration as the Chief Minister of Sarawak. Previously on Sunday, Head of State Tun Pehin Seri Abdul Taib Mahmud and wife Tuh Puan Datuk Patinggi Ragat Kudi Taib celebrated his 87th birthday in Kuching. Among the attendees were the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, and his wife, Puan Sri Datuk Ama Jumaini Tun Tuanku Bujang. Also present were the Deputy Premiers of Sarawak, Datuk Ama Awang Tengah Ali Hassan, Datuk Ama Douglas Uga Embas, and Datuk Seri Dr. Sim Kui Hian. The celebration was enlivened with the ceremonial cutting of the yellow rice and cake, as well as the performance by the Sarawak P. Ramlee Fan Club.
In a major stride towards reducing carbon emissions and promoting sustainable practices, Sarawak has announced a significant progress in the development and implementation of sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF, within its aviation industry. The Premier Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, said the introduction of SAF aims to mitigate the environmental impact of aviation by reducing greenhouse gas emissions and dependence on fossil fuels.
Hari ini adalah hasil daripada kerjasama di antara pihak Petronas, khususnya di penyidikan Research and Development Petronas, together with kita punya Sarawak SADC Energy dalam pengeluaran minyak SAF, Sustainable Aviation Fuel, menggunakan bahan algae. Saya mempunyai pandangan bahawa masa depan Sarawak adalah cerah. Dari sudut pengeluaran minyak ini, kerana kita mempunyai keadaan yang sangat sesuai untuk mengeluarkan crude oil.
Meanwhile, Abang Johari pointed out that there are several prerequisites to be adhered to in the production of algae crude oil.
Apa yang berlaku ialah kita mempunyai prerequisite that is required in the production of algae crude oil. That is, dia punya sunlight mesti cukup. Nombor dua, dia memanglah CO2. Dan ketiganya iklim, keadaan cuaca. Dan kita mempunyai coastline yang agak panjang. Kerana teknologi ini menggunakan air laut. So, air laut digunakan. Ini bermakna bahawa kita dapat mengeluarkan minyak algae ini.
On matters pertaining to the pricing, Abang Johari disclosed that it is worth around $50 to $100 per barrel.
Rekod kajian kita, unit cost per barrel is roughly about $50. 50. And it can come down depending on the outcome of our research in the process. But as of today, roughly about USD $50. Dan kalau ia jual kepada refinery because you have to do bio refinery. Lebih kurang harganya 110 US dollar per barrel. So that is the market as of now. Dan saya nampak bahawa once we have mass produced banyak begini, the technology, because there is economies of scale, then one day the production cost may come down. Dan the price very much depend on the price of oil sekarang. Kerana people are shifting towards sustainable and renewable energy, meaning it will substitute the fossil fuel.
Thus, by embracing such an initiative, Sarawak would further position itself in pioneering its journey towards a greener future.
Sarawak's Transport Minister Datuk Sri Lee Kim Shin noted that the launch of the first plane to use Sarawak's sustainable aviation fuel as a historic event in the aviation industry. Lee said that it marks a positive development for the aviation industry as well as Sarawak's economy, which is now moving towards green economy.
Kapal terbang ini mendarat di Kuching, lapangan terbang antarabangsa Kuching, ya, untuk minyak dia dah isi sebelum dah terbang pergi ke Langkawi, dia isi minyak aviation, iaitu minyak kapal terbang buatan Sarawak. Itu yang penting, for the first time.
He said this during a media session following his ministerial winding-up session at the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly on Monday. Earlier in his winding-up speech, Lee said that Sarawak government's decision to venture into hydrogen production as alternative fuel is in line with the global trend, adding that hydrogen has emerged as a promising fuel source for the transport sector globally due to its potential to reduce carbon emission significantly. On Monday, a Baltic Airbus A220-300 aircraft arrived at Kuching International Airport, KIA, from Bangkok and was refueled with the SAF. State's Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg also boarded the flight from Kuching to Langkawi.
Sarawak's current water reserve margin is less than 5%, and according to the Minister of Utility and Telecommunication, Datuk Julaihi Narawi, this is a far cry from the state's objective of having 20% of the water reserve margin from the total capacity of the water treatment plants throughout the state.
Reserve margin loji air Salim di Sibu misalnya, setakat ini hanya mempunyai 3% sahaja. Loji rawatan air Batu Kitang di Kuching 5%, dan loji rawatan air Kaki Wong di Betong 1% sahaja. Jumlah permintaan air semasa adalah 2,000 MLD dan unjuran permintaan air pada tahun 2030 adalah sebanyak 2,400 MLD. Oleh itu, beberapa projek utama yang kritikal perlu dilaksanakan segera bagi memenuhi permintaan air yang dijangka terus meningkat.
At the same time, he said the clean water supply coverage throughout Sarawak has already reached 84.1% by the first quarter of this year. This includes 67.8% coverage in rural areas and 99% coverage in urban areas. To ensure that the state's water coverage objective is achieved, Julaihi said it will require a total allocation of 19.2 billion ringgit.
Oleh itu, dalam kajian separuh penggal rancangan Malaysia ke-12 KSP RMK ke-12 yang lepas, Kementerian saya telah mengemukakan siling RMK 12 bernilai ringgit Malaysia 5.9 bilion bagi meneruskan pelaksanaan projek bekalan air seperti yang dirancangkan.
The Sarawak government, through the Fisheries Department, is intensifying efforts to protect fishing habitats and prevent trawling encroachments by increasing the deployment of artificial reefs statewide. Deputy Director of Sarawak Fisheries Department, Liza Long, announced that 16 artificial reefs were deployed in the Balingian Sea, Mukah, on Monday.
According to Lisa, this initiative aims to deter trawling encroachments while simultaneously restoring the habitat for demersal fish species that have been declining due to trawling activities.
Kita memandang serius perkara ini. Jadi Jabatan Perikanan Laut Sarawak dan juga pihak FRA di Tawar Sarawak dan Labuan ini bersama dengan pihak kementerian, kita memandang serius untuk mengekalkan sumber perikanan yang lestari ini, tuan-tuan. Dalam masa yang sama, kita nak mengatasi masalah pencerobohan ini. Jadi kita memperkenalkan pelbagai jenis kaedah konservasi, ya.
Furthermore, Lisa highlighted that the deployment of artificial reefs can create new habitat areas for fish and other marine life, thereby increasing the income of fishermen. She further emphasized that the proactive actions taken by fishermen in the Kuala Balingian area who requested the deployment of artificial reefs in their waters have caught the attention of the Sarawak Fisheries Department. Through government funding, they are able to fulfill these aspirations.
Setiap tahun kita dapat peruntukan, tahun itu kita dapat 5 juta dan sebahagian daripada peruntukan tersebut kita memenuhi hasrat daripada nelayan Kuala Balingian. Ya. So, kita berjaya dengan kos projek 400 lebih ribu, kita berjaya menyediakan 16 unit tukun penghalang pekat rendah.
For the record, a total of 201,000 artificial reefs have been deployed in Sarawak waters from 1984 to 2022. In the Mukah area, 13,045 units of artificial reefs of 7 different types have been deployed to date. These include 12,578 units of tire reefs, 11 units of vessel reefs, 300 units of ball reefs, 30 units of cuboid reefs, 40 units of recreational reefs, 32 units of recreational coral reefs, and 54 barrier-type artificial reefs.
Coming up right after the break, no electricity subsidy, harsh financial aid for T20 Group. First Saudi woman blasts off to space right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The high-income group or T20 group in the country will not benefit from electricity subsidies, said Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim.
Kita tidak naikkan kadar elektrik melainkan untuk T20. Saya nak jelaskan di sini. Untuk T20 sahaja, iaitu rumah-rumah besar yang tidak akan diberi subsidi elektrik.
He also added that the main database, PADU, would be used to manage and coordinate the distribution of subsidies to eligible groups.
Ini sama je seperti mana bantuan kewangan haji. Kepada B40 kita tambah, tapi bagi T20 tidak akan ada lagi tambahan ataupun subsidi daripada kerajaan. Mereka harus belanja sepenuhnya kos haji kerana mereka di kalangan yang mampu.
Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, was replying to a question from Dato' Seri Hamzah Zainuddin, PN Larut, who wanted to know about new and drastic policies implemented by Anwar's administration to drive the nation's economy, taking into consideration the risks of a shrinking global economy.
A total of 29 schools in Kuala Lumpur, 2 ministry quarters and an embassy premises that were damaged will be repaired following a storm on Friday evening. Minister of Works Dato' Sri Alexander Nantalinggi stated that the repairs would incur a cost of 4.1 million ringgit.
KKR ataupun Kementerian JKN diberitahu pada mulanya kita mengumumkan berapa 15 sekolah, lepas tu 22, tapi yang terakhir ini 29 buah sekolah yang terkesan. Jadi kami di pihak Kementerian Kerja Raya ataupun Jabatan Kerja Raya membantulah, bukan setakat di sekolah-sekolah saja, sebab bangunan-bangunan di dalam kementerian lain pun terjejas seperti di Mindef, Pertahanan dan Kementerian Luar Negeri dan sebuah rumah untuk duta terkesan juga.
He said this after conducting an inspection at Sekolah Kebangsaan Setapak on Monday together with the Minister of Education Fadlina Siddiq. Commenting further, Nanta said the allocation also includes 5 housing units of the Defence Ministry, costing 500,000 ringgit, and the Palestine Embassy building, which costs 600,000 ringgit. Meanwhile, Fadlina hopes that the repair works can be carried out during the upcoming first semester school break starting this Saturday until June 4th to ensure that the learning sessions are not disrupted.
Kita berharap agar dapat kerja-kerja pembaikan ini dapat disegerakan dan lalu dalam tempoh cuti sekolah inilah, ya, kerana ia akan memberikan kesan yang cukup besar kepada anak-anak kita yang bersekolah. Kalau tuan-tuan lihat tadi, memang yang terlibat adalah kelas-kelas kanak-kanak yang sememangnya akan memberikan dan menjejaskan pendidikan mereka lah dalam tempoh mereka tidak dapat masuk atas alasan keselamatan dan sebagainya. Yang rosak pun banyak, ya, Puan Hayati, ya, alatan-alatan pembelajaran mereka.
She also mentioned that for SK Setapak, a total of 8 classrooms accommodating 70 students were affected by the incident. During the heavy rain and storm that hit the capital city last week, many premises, including schools, suffered various damages.
Moving on to international news, a Saudi Arabian woman creates history as she heads out to the International Space Station, ISS, to conduct advanced research on breast cancer. Rayana Barnawi, a 34-year-old scientist who specializes in cancer stem cell research, will be there for a total of 10 days.
Rayana is a very good scientist. She has done very well in her field of science, and accordingly, she was selected as one of the astronauts that will be able to fulfill the experiments that they will do on the International Space Station.
Barnawi lifted off from Earth on the all-private astronaut AX-2 mission run by Axiom Space on Sunday, May 21st, accompanied by fellow Saudi astronaut Alia Alwani. Saudis in Riyadh have also expressed their pride in this achievement.
It is no wonder that Saudi Arabia has reached space, because with our leaders, Mohammed bin Salman and King Salman, may God extend their lives. I expect that we will achieve more than reaching space, which I consider is only a milestone to a lot of things that will happen in the future. I expect we will reach further achievements, and I am extremely proud, and I can see the future. There is no doubt that it makes us happy. The Saudi people are developing and have reached the highest levels. Thanks to God, we have been given many awards, amongst them for our education. We aspire for Saudi youth to become the best and to reach international levels, and we wish them luck in this space mission, God willing.
A massive fire broke out at Manila's historical Central Post Office on Sunday night and lasted over 7 hours, razing the nearly 100-year-old building and injuring 7 people. Manila Fire District Director Christine Tula said the blaze began late at 11:41 p.m. local time and declared under control earlier this morning.
Yung origin of fire, according dun sa nag-report sa amin, is sa basement siya nanggaling dun sa General Services Office ng Post Office Building, sa baba, sa basement. Kaya medyo mabilis agad ang ano niya kasi confined space yon. So yung init talagang na-confine din siya. Ang estimated amount with the total lot area, with the formula na ginagamit natin para sa computation ng estimated cost of damage, nasa 300, more or less nasa 300 million tayo.
Christine said the fire began at the General Services Office, located in the basement of the building. The Bureau of Fire Protection said more than 80 fire trucks were sent to the decades-old landmark after the blaze broke out late Sunday. The Manila Central Post Office, built in 1926 and considered as a national historical landmark, is the headquarters of the government-owned and controlled Philippine Postal Corps.
And that is all for TVS Nightline. And just a reminder, Unity Week has started. We'll be broadcasting our news bulletin live on location from the Kuching waterfront. So head on to our booth and you will get a chance to meet TVS personalities and you can see if you got what it takes to be a news anchor or TV host. So mark May 20th to 26th on your calendars and we'll see you there. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.